hand box. Um, you'll notice girls don't complain around alphas. Good feelings only. Betas, family, and girlfriends are open season for nonstop complaining, and probably boyfriends slash husbands of any ilk, because that's kind of your role to a certain extent. You do have to take some of that on. But if you're talking about you just want to have a good time, you basically run a rotation. Because when you run a rotation, you're the fun guy. And that's really how you should approach all dates, getting to know a girl, especially when you're still qualifying her for something a little bit more permanent, a little bit more serious. You want to be the fun guy. And I have an entire video up just on being the fun guy. And basically, when they're around you, there's, it's like one guy said, um, he if a girl kind of like came up and one of his girls or his plates came over and she was kind of like down and disgruntled, and it wasn't something serious, not a death in the family or a sick child, or he just asked him to go home. He said good feelings only, just there's no reason, because that's not his role to absorb that type of negative energy from a girl. It's good feelings only. You don't want to hang out with him, you better be up. And like Bunny's been very good, but she's a very high energy, positive girl anyway, even under the worst of circumstances. But she brings that high energy positivity, and it takes a lot to kind of get her on the negative side. But other women, especially depending on how much trauma they've experienced before they meet you, are probably easier to trigger, and they will attempt, and it's kind of a test just to see if you'll take it. Sometimes they'll attempt to kind of like unload their problems on you. And a lot of guys they try to be sympathetic but not a sponge, and they're like, hey, maybe this isn't the best time for us to hang out. Maybe you should work through whatever's going on. And it's not that I don't care, it's just that I can't help you at all. But you'll notice that most girls do intrinsically know not to complain around alphas. They want to put their best foot forward. Good feelings only. Betas, family, and girlfriends are open season for nonstop complaining. Not all girls. I gotta say that we do kind of put out in our world that women do complain a lot, and it's not necessarily. I think it's the 80-20. 80% do complain a lot about a lot of things, and 20% not so much. It just depends on her temperament and how she's wired. But again, you'll notice girls don't complain around alphas. They just want him to have a good time with her. She wants him to have the connotation of it's a good thing when she comes around.